Hi friends, welcome back. Naji here. We are continuing a discussion with FastAPI, and in this video we'll be discussing on how can we create a endpoint or how can we create a path parameters. Okay, so we'll see how that can be implemented. So in our last video we have discussed about its basic usage, right? Its advantages, and we'll see like how can we create a hello world endpoint with respect to fast API. Okay, now let me create a new file, that is path main.py. So this is this will be similar to our main.py, but this is specifically for this particular tutorial. Okay, and ensure that you have the FastAPI standard is installed. Okay, then we can start our coding part. So to save some time, so I can just copy this from here. Maybe somebody is we can just use here itself FastAPI. I can import the FastAPI. Now I can create an app using the FastAPI. Okay, so we can use the decorator, and here we are going to create a path with a parameter. This can be items. Okay, now I need to get the item ID. I will be passing an item ID. Okay, so based on this we have to return the item information. Okay, so that will be the real scenario, but since it's a dummy, like we will not be doing like in a database connection. We will be directly returning a dummy result. For that I can have a get item. Here I can mention item ID, saying dev, and we will have an item ID, and I can return the information of item name. I can give the item name as what? I can say item 1. Okay, so this is what we have done. Now I can go and run the application. So for that I can make use of fast dev. Instead of main.py, now we are using the path main.py. Okay, so the execution is progress. So let me click on this link. Okay, copy link. So let me close these things. We don't need it anymore. Okay, and this is our URL, and here I can give items slash I can ask for my ID is 101. Okay, so this is not returning now, so we'll see what went wrong. Let me, okay, it says not found. Okay, so we can check our endpoint that we have created. So this is okay, so because the endpoint is wrong, that's why we are getting that particular error. So let me correct it. Instead of, let me make it items. Now we can try it again. So whenever we change the code, it will in the background the FastAPI server will be automatically reloaded. Okay, so we are getting the details. So when I pass here 101, I am getting the item name as item 1. Okay, now I can give some ID, random ID here. Okay, so that will also return the value, because say consider that in my scenario, in my use case, the item ID is always a integer. Suppose in the database the item ID is always a integer. In that case I have to write a code to block any other data types like string or float, right? So for that FastAPI is providing a very easy method. Here I can mention the data type as a int. Okay, now we can check. Okay, so here we have the data. Okay, now let me give 102. So it's returning the item name equal to item 1. Now I am going to give a test ID. See, so whenever we give a test ID here, it's happening it's a integer passing location path item ID. It says a message input should be a valid integer, unable to pass the string as an integer, the input test ID. So it is very clearly said that, okay, so you are given a test ID and this is only accepting the integers. So the FastAPI under the hood which is using the Pydantic, and that is why we are getting this detailed message. So in this way we don't need to do any manual validation. This will be done by the FastAPI itself. Now let me give some kind of a float numbers. Okay, so in this case also it is saying that okay, you should use the integers. Okay. So this is a method, or this is a way to handling the validation inside Flask API. Okay, now we can see say that I have another method. Okay, I'm going to create another method. I want to item slash I want to get items. Okay, so I'm going to say I can say that items. I can write get all items. So this is a method that will return all the items considered. Okay, so here I am saying item name all item. Now we can trying to execute this. We'll see what's happening, what will happen. Okay, so here I am going to paste it here. Okay. Okay, even though I have given the endpoint correctly, it is again showing the integer parsing method. Okay. So because what is actually happening is here whenever the request is coming here, it will always go to the first API method. Okay, then it will try to parse with respect to this. So that is why we are getting the error like this. So in this scenario, we have to make, and we have to ensure that this kind of method should come first. Okay, the order is as important. Now we can see what's happening. So now let me run it again. Item slash again item. Okay, it's again seems to be not working. So let me check with my console. I have said, let me check the code. Item slash items, get all items, return items. Here we have I up. Okay, so here let me give this. Let me try it. See, in this case this is working fine. Okay, all item, and I can pass 101, then I am getting the item 1. Okay, now another way that we can see that, okay, if I want to pass some kind of a enum models, we'll see how can we do that. For that, let me create a enum class. Let me create a model class. This can be string and this can be enum. This will be a string of enum of string type. Okay, so I can import this one. Okay, so once the import is done, we can write the class. Here I am going to specify two models or two variables. One is AlexNet. Here I can say this is AlexNet, and can have a ResNet and ResNet. Now I'm going to create a app, a decorator, that is I can say models slash, here I can give a model name, okay, and here I can mention async def get models. Okay. This is similar to what we have done with the item ID, and only thing is that this is enum. So here I can specifically mention that this is a type of model. Okay, so I can make it model name. Okay, to make it name matching, here I can mention model name. Now I can easily check with if model name dot if model name is in I can say model can check this is in AlexNet. I can return that this is AlexNet, and here I can check model name is model name dot ResNet. I will be saying this is from ResNet. Okay, now we can see how this works. Let me copy this URL. I'm going to my okay, first I just did 101. Now I am getting an error because the enum log, this is the model name message, and input should be Alex name or ResNet, okay, and expected AlexNet or ResNet. Okay, so this is a detailed validation or error report, so users will be able to correct this. Here we can have a AlexNet. So if I give AlexNet, says about the AlexNet, and I can give LayNet, this will be giving, oh, I am not giving the LayNet, I am giving AlexNet and the ResNet. ResNet is the wrong, but okay, so ResNet. Okay, so the spelling is correct, not correct, but yeah, this is working as expected. Okay. Now we can see, okay, we can write one more endpoint, then we will see the documentation part. Now sometimes we need to pass a file parameter, right, the path. So we'll see how can we do that. Here I am going to give a file path, and I can mention the file path here. Okay, now we can mention a read file, and I can pass a file path here. Okay. Now return maybe result reading is success. Okay, now we'll see how the file path is work. Okay, so now we are, let me again check the file path. This is the file path. Okay, so in the endpoint here, this is the file path, and I'm going to give the file path as readme.txt. okay, so reading is successfully completed. Okay, now in some cases my file may not be in the root folder, it may be in some other locations. Okay, so I have to give like C :/dev/readme. Okay, so this is my path, and I am going to give this path to the Flask API. We'll see what will happen. Okay, because it says about not found. What is actually happening is that the Flask is trying to parse this one. So it got a file path, then it is going to check the C, and it is going to check dev, then it is going to check the readme file. So it is thinking this is a like path variables. Okay, then it is trying to figure out the similar path pattern here, but unfortunately there is nothing like that, right? So there is an easy method that we can do. Here we can just mention this is a path. Okay, now I can come here, just do some refresh. Okay, still it's not working, so let me check, something went wrong. So here I am mentioning that it's a path, it's a file path. Let me try it again without space. Okay, see, this is working fine, reading success. The earlier I was actually giving a space here, don't give any space, just do the file path path. Okay, so in this case it is able to read successfully. Okay, so now we can go and check its documentation. So now last video we said that there is a docs is there. So let me go to the documentation part. Here we can see all the APIs that we have done. Okay, now maybe I can try it out. I can pass okay, so this is just a nothing to pass. Okay, so execution is done. Let me cancel it. I can go to the second one. So this is the result, all items. So this is the result. Here I can try it out, and I am going to give 101, execute it. I'm getting the result as a item 1. Now I can give a alphabets. So it says that item ID value must be integer. So in this way, unit testing is also very easy. We don't need to create our own documentation. So FastAPI is creating by itself. So that's all about in this video. In our next video, we can discuss more about query parameters, request body, etc. So please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.